Guys, I'm going to talk about the Inklings. This is something that grabbed my attention from Dr. Bartels Ray, her example for this project about Dorothy Sayers being the only woman Inkling. And so I started to look into it, and I'm kind of tongue in cheek saying this is a literary movement, perhaps. But let's look at it together. Lewis and Tolkien to this group that are the Inklings, which we know by Bartels Ray's example that Dorothy Sayers was a part of this group and that there were traditionally 19. I'm not going to name all 19 because I haven't discovered all 19, but I'll name what I've discovered. But it seems that Lewis and Tolkien are the founders. And so I started to think about Emerson and Thoreau to Transcendentalism, and Gertrude Stein, oh, she's down there a little bit more, and William James to modernism. I just finished English 343, so I think about Coleridge and Wordsworth to romantic poetry, and then I kind of even brought it further into our into the contemporary with McCartney and Lennon as to rock and roll. I looked at a book called The Fellowship by Zaleski. It's a husband and wife partnership, this book that I found on Google Scholar about the Inklings. And this quote I thought was amazing. The name Inklings, as J.R.R. Tolkien recalled it, was little more than a pleasantly ingenuine, sorry, I did not spell that right, ingenuous pun suggesting people with vague or half-formed intimations and ideas, plus those who dabble in ink. The daunish dreaminess thus hinted at tells us something important about this curious band. Its members saw themselves as no more than a loose association of rumpled intellectuals, and this modest self-image is a large part of their charm. But history would record, however modest their pretensions, that their ideas did not remain half-formed, nor their ink blots mere dabblings. The Fab Four in this book are J.R.R. Tolkien, C.S. Lewis, Owen Barfield, and Charles Williams. And you can see their dates of birth. And then other notable Inklings. I'm not going to say all these names because, wow, I mean, some are easy, some are difficult. But you see Warnie Lewis, who is C.S. Lewis's older brother, and Christopher Tolkien, who is J.R.R. Tolkien's son. And then Dorothy Sayers is for sure mentioned in the book. But I have this other quote about what their quest was. A wit might say that the Inklings' aim was to turn the bird into a dragon and the baby into a king, for their sympathies were mythological, medieval, and monarchical, and their great hope was to restore Western culture to its religious roots, to unleash the powers of imagination, to re-enchant the world through Christian faith and pagan beauty. And boy, have we been seeing this in this course with last week finishing Till We Have Faces, that myth retold, and then now in deep to the Lord of the Rings. I just think it's so interesting that this group came together and what they were able to achieve. I feel that they paved the way for what we can enjoy today from back then, and what's new in our what we're producing new for our literary works. It's not so new, but I think about like Harry Potter and how that kind of polarized the Christian community, but then a lot of people were pointing to Tolkien saying, look, we can see the Christian faith mixed with pagan beauty, and the mythological and the fantasy that these scholars, the Inklings, these modest men were able to achieve is just impactful.